Medina Creative Living provides independence for individuals with disabilities. It provides them with a home. It provides them with a social community. It provides them with a nurturing setting. It provides them with integration into the community.
Living on my own is a very big step. I have more fun living over here. There are community activities.
Living independently, I do everything myself. I cook for myself and I clean the apartment.
I just like being on my own, and I love to. Now I like to cook because I never liked it. I didn't have an interest when I was younger, but now I do. Now that I'm by myself.
My daughter is 21 and she has multiple disabilities, and this has been a lifelong dream of hers to be able to be independent just like any other child and have a place of her own where she can socialize.
Medina Creative Housing has been in existence for approximately 16 years. It was formed by a group of parents who had a concern about their children and having options be available to them. They had goals and aspirations for their children, just like we all do, despite the fact that their children had special needs.
I had been trying to find Ashley a place of her own, in the future. She was only about, like she said, about 14. And I was calling around different places, and all I wanted to do was to put her on a waiting list because she did want to be independent and have her own place at some point in time in her life. And I thought, well, let's get her on a waiting list, and when she turns, we'll see how she's developed and how far she's come by the time she's 18, whether or not that is an option for her. And nobody would consider it for us. We couldn't even get her on a waiting list, and then when I found out that when she's 18 and we put her on a waiting list, we could be talking like 5 years, who knows, down the road.
There's no options. There's none. And I knew once we got older, I wanted him to be independent and not depend on his siblings to raise him. And he's got a place of his own. If not, he would still be at home. He would never be able to go to a regular apartment and trust other kids and be able to do what he's doing and afford it. There's no way with the income these kids are at.
I think a lot of families that have special needs individuals have to rely on maybe other family members. At some point we're not going to be around.
And they formed a nonprofit group to purchase homes, adapt them, and make them affordable and accessible to individuals in the community who had disabilities. For about 16 years, or actually a little bit less than that, Medina Creative Housing plugged away and developed about a house a year as they could scrape together funding, and bought houses along the way and placed people in these homes in congregate living settings, so 1 to 4 people in a home, usually 2 or 3.
Well, before I was living in it's not a group home. Everybody says it's a group home, but it's really not. It's a home that you live with other people, but you have your own place, your private place. And then the kitchen area you share, that's where I shared. That's where I lived in Brunswick, on Maxwell Boulevard. And I lived with other roommates, but I had my own bedroom, which I liked, and they had their own bedroom, and so on.
And she did for a brief time. She moved out of our home, and she lived, her previous home was with a Medina Creative House in Brunswick, and it was a wonderful transition for her.
We were never able to offer a single situation, a single living situation, until Medina Creative Living. At that point in time, we had families asking for single living for their individuals, independent living with supports. We weren't able to offer that in our single-family homes. We applied to HUD. We were able to be funded for Medina Creative Living, and we put together what I believe is a very special project, a very special living arrangement.
My new unit has an adequate living space, about 500 some square feet for one person. It includes a washer and dryer, refrigerator. It has a 1 living room, 1 bedroom, a kitchen, and some storage closets.
Well, they have the community room here, and they have activities every night in the evenings.
I have my friends over, watch some games and stuff, and have a cookout, and pretty much that's about it.
I have enjoyed coming to activities.
They have the socials Monday through Friday nights, which are wonderful for him. When he was at home, we would plan socials for him and try to get him out of his room, which he loved. He had his computers and everything there. And once we got him out, he always enjoyed being out, but he would not be proactive. And now that he has moved in, he has blossomed. He is proactive with asking other residents here to walk places with him. He is choosing to come down and participate in the socials, whereas before we had to urge him to get out of the house to participate in something.
It used to be that Candace would come home and we'd see the back of her head and she was in her room. She really didn't have the social activities. Now we'd come over and she's shooing us out the door. Hey, I'm in Amy's playing, I'm over here doing horseshoes. Go home. So it's really nice to see her making the friends and just really having a wonderful time doing all the social activities. They are so busy here. My husband and I are going, we would love to do that.
We tried to make it not only aesthetic, to fit well into the neighborhood, but to make it accessible, be in a residential setting, but make it accessible to everything that the individuals would need, walkable or rollable, to services, supports, recreation, shopping, and I believe that we've achieved that.
Like, we go out grocery shop and hang out. And
He isn't able to drive, which a lot of these kids are not. He walks everywhere. Well, he's always been a walker, so this is the perfect spot. That worried me too, because before we heard about this, I'm thinking if he ever would move somewhere in Medina, where? How can he walk? Where can he go? What can he do?
It's located within convenience of restaurants and stores. Regal Cinemas is right next door. I've already walked to Taco Bell and Mr. Hero with a friend.
You can ask for a perfect spot. He walks to pay his cell phone bill. He walks to get a haircut. He walks to grocery shop. He explores everything. And I just heard today that for the first time he asked Matt to walk up to Mr. Hero's and go have lunch with him. And Matt's mom said he would never, ever, for years, 5 years, she would try to get him, even call a friend, talk to him.
One Sunday, a few Sundays ago, I just was in the grocery store and I heard Matt's voice, and there he was with a provider, and they were doing his shopping for that week. And it was just wonderful that he could have that kind of independence.
I have individuals with disabilities in my own family, and this is a group that I wanted to work on behalf of, to advocate for, to provide opportunities and build hope for. And the individuals that work for me have the same heart that I do for individuals with disabilities. And our goal is to provide the safety, the supports around them, and to help them achieve their potential. And that's what we're trying to do.
Some of the services that they provide for Matt is that he has a provider through another part of their agency, and that person has helped with transportation for Matt. That person has helped with cooking skills.
Then I have a provider that I have that just keeps me safe, watches me so I'm safe.
Very special. And it's the people running it that's made it that way too.
It's a very emotional job. You have to have the heart for working with individuals with disabilities. You have to truly care. It's not a 9-to-5 job. I have my phone 24/7, and I'm available and accessible. And I become somewhat like a surrogate mother to everyone in our homes. And that's the part of the job that I love.
I think the staff is just wonderful. They really have become part of all of our families, and they really care about these kids. And they focus more on what the kids can do, not what they can't do. So they really have taken an interest into him, and you can really tell that Diane really focused and thought a lot about how it was going to work. From not only their apartments, but social activities to field trips, from doctors to everything was really well planned and put together for the kids.
It starts at the top, you know, with Diane, the executive director. I mean, the love that just flows down from her and the staff and just everybody. I mean, the residents, I mean, you can just feel it. It is just, it's wonderful.
Sometimes when I need something or anyone needs something, they can come here if they have a problem. You have your own advocates here, such as Diane.
Diane, the director, has been fantastic. She's part of our family now.
And with Diane's help, lady that's really nice to me.
Without Medina Creative Living, individuals with disabilities in Medina County would not have many options.
Candace would be still at home with us. There are no other options that I'm aware of. And she would still not be getting all of the things that she needs.
Without Creative Living, and would still be with Mom and Dad.
And so what are your overall? Ashley still would be in our home. Ashley would be very unhappy right now, I will be honest with you. She really was very sad and getting in a rebellious area of her life because she did not understand why she couldn't be on her own and out like her other friends were planning things at the same age as Ashley. She would have been at home, and it would have been very difficult, very, very difficult for us as a family.
Without Medina Creative Living, I would probably be living at home like I had been the past 25 years, and I don't know what my future would have been like.
She would have never been able to fulfill her dreams. I just honestly believe that would have never happened for her.
For a child without disabilities, they can decide where to live. They can go and get an apartment. They can go to college. They can fulfill whatever dreams and aspirations they have. Someone with disabilities, their options are limited or more limited unless there is Medina Creative Housing, Medina Creative Living, providing opportunities for them and building hope for them and for their families, that they can have a full life, that they can have friends, that they can be part of the community, that they can obtain employment, and they can reach their potential and have a full and happy life. And that's what you've seen today. You've seen families that are amazed that their child's been able to do that, and that we've been able to assist them to achieve their dreams.